Hey, welcome back to the channel. I just got back from a family event and I had this awkward situation happen and I wanted to ask you some questions. So let's get into some real talk here. Have you ever been in an awkward situation where you want to film something, but at the same time when you get the camera out, your shyness comes over, your confidence drops, and the people around you are like, don't put that me on camera. I don't want to be on camera. Cover that up. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get into the office and get you set up here, and we'll get started. All right, now I've got you set up in here. We can talk a little bit. Here's the thing. Those moments in your family, those are precious moments. Those events and those activities, those candid times that you're there, that happen, those are your family memories. Wonderful to be able to know that you have captured those family events. So what we're going to talk about today is a few tips to kind of give you the confidence, to give you the boost on how to overcome the shyness and the awkwardness for you and for those that are around you, and maybe some too candid things to talk about. If you are the person in your family that is the recorder of the memories, if you're the person that is always the one with the camera in your hand, comment below and just say, that's me. I am that person. How do you overcome the camera shyness? How do you overcome what it feels like to, we have our cell phones and they're not very big, they're not abrasive. We can kind of pull them out and take pictures. And I'm going to have a video of that coming down the in the next few weeks about camera size and how does it matter. But if you've got a camera this big, it's going to be a lot more abrasive. If I were to put this in your face, but look, it's got this long lens. I can zoom across the room because that's what it's for, zooming across the room. I hear it all the time. I wish I had more photos of my grandparents. I wish I had more photos of mom. I wish I had more video of dad. I wish I could just hear their voice, hear their laugh one more time. It's those little precious moments that over time become precious, invaluable memories that we want to hold on to and be able to bring out. Small story, last year we had our Thanksgiving reunion and I presented some old videos and some old pictures of past reunions, and my cousin sitting next to me who lost his dad early in life had his son sitting next to him, and he said, hey son, that's your grandfather. And I don't have any pictures, videos of him, and there he is walking and talking, and you can see and how he is. That son of my cousin is 14 years old, never had seen his grandfather because my cousin's father had passed away when my cousin and I were in our 16, 17 years of age. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it had been many years, plus his son now able to watch their father and grandfather on a screen where they could see him, and that's the only videos that they had. It's not because I recorded them, it's because someone else had taken the opportunity to record, and then I took the tapes, the VHS tapes, and converted them. That now my cousin's son can see and hear his grandfather's voice and know more about him. You don't have to be a photographer, a certified photographer, an experienced photographer, one that does it for a business. You don't have to be a videographer, one that does it for weddings and all of the work that videographers do. Grab your phone, grab your camera, start recording. Over time, you will gain the confidence. Be less awkward when you are getting out of the camera to capture those memories. So you don't need this fancy camera. You don't need this big camera. You can use your phone. You can use smaller cameras. We'll go through all of those in another video, like I said. But what you need to learn to do is just start. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect pose. Just capture the real stuff. The everyday moments, the laughter, the tears, the silly faces. Just make sure that you're captured. Trust me, years from now, it's not going to matter what size camera you had. It's not going to matter if you had the right composition, if you had the lighting just right, and all the techniques that we're going to learn on this channel. Just matters that you captured it, that you got it, that you recorded it. And years from now, you'll be able to say, look what I got. I'm going to show this. Like I was explaining a few minutes ago with our family reunion, I have many, many years that I've collected from different family members, pieces here, pieces there, photos here, photos there, when I'm able to put together a whole catalog of memories of from the time that I recall growing up into the family and now with my wife Lisa, and we're getting into our ages where our niece and nephew can learn from us by watching the videos and just knowing who we are. Here's a cool little thing. When our niece and nephew get of the age to marry and have children of their own, how awesome would it be for them to be able to take those things that I've captured, the memories that I've captured, and give it to them so that they can share with their kids, their children. Hey, this is Uncle Evan, this is Aunt Lisa, and this is how they were growing up, and this is all the things that we did together, the fun and the trips and all the silly things that we did together. Look how fun we had it growing up and going. And so that's going to be the next generation. And then they can pass it on to the next generation. Those, to me, and I hope it's to you also, excites me. What do we have going backwards? Now we can have just this little bitty thing right here that can capture hours and hours of photos and videos of our lives that we can now pass forward. If you look at all these cameras that are behind me right now, those are the cameras of old days. And they depended on film. They depended on the old reel film for video. Some of them up there didn't even have audio. You just recorded the video. And you had to have a separate cassette tape to record the audio. And there was a lot of work. And then to watch them or to look at the pictures, you had to have the film developed. And you only had 28 pictures per roll of film that you could take, and film was kind of expensive. So we were very limited on what we had to capture and what we can bring forward into the future because it was expensive. Cameras were expensive. Not everybody had one. If they had one, they were very careful to use it because then there was batteries and all of those things that were from the years ago. Now we can record whole movies and a whole day's worth of content and memories and activities onto a little SD card. And I had one laying right here. Yeah, just a little SD card like this right here. A whole day's worth of video and audio that we can capture with the photos and the videos. In my first video that I hope you watched, we talked about taking 30 seconds and making little clips of a day or a specific event and making those. But we have the capability to have a full days of recordings. Now we're not going to talk about recording full days and all of that stuff, but trust me, years from now, you won't be looking at those photos and thinking, man, I wish that I had more this or I had less that or I had this kind of equipment, I had this kind of lights, and you're just going to make sure that you capture, because today we have the ability to capture. We have the ability to share it. We have the ability to store it. In some future videos, we'll talk about how you can organize and how you can store and how you can share those in private ways and in public ways if you want to. So I said you don't have to have the best equipment. You don't have to have the composition. You don't have to know what the leading lines are and how to set your ISO and aperture and lighting. And oh man, that's what this channel is going to do. It's going to help you that does not want to be a professional photographer, that does not want to be a professional videographer, but to help you better your techniques so that you can capture your family events. I want you to subscribe to this channel so that you can follow more tips and tricks as we go forward. Okay, I mentioned that we talked about awkwardness. I'm going to lean in real close here. That awkward feeling of being the one holding the camera, where everyone suddenly becomes hyper aware of themselves and starts posing or making weird, awkward faces. They stand up and they turn their bodies in a certain way, and they whatever they've seen on social media people do. Yeah, it can be a bit cringy. The more you do it, the less awkward it's going to be. The more natural it's going to become that you have a camera and this is what you do. And later, those people are going to remember that you have the camera and then go, hey, do you have that picture of us doing that in the playground with little guy and little girl and little sister and little brother? Yeah, I do. Practice makes perfect. The more you capture those casual moments with your family, the more natural it's going to feel for you and them. Speaking of them, how do you get them to relax in front of the camera? How do you get them to stop making those weird faces? I can't smile right. I don't know how to smile when you say cheese. The best advice I can give, just encourage them to be themselves. Just remind them that these photos and videos are for you and your family, for us to cherish, to look at later, to look at years from now. It's not about looking perfect and posing for a magazine cover, but it's about capturing real, authentic moments. The laughter, the silliness, and the love. So how do you make it easier? You start by capturing the candid moments. People are less self-conscious when they're not posing. Focus on the activity, the game that you're playing, the cooking together, the telling of the story. These moments truly reflect your family's unique personalities. Remember, it takes time. The first few times that you bring the camera out into a family event or the situation, yeah, people are going to kind of look and say, I feel that's awkward. I just don't like the way. Don't capture my good side or my bad side or this side or that side, or just don't put me on camera. The more you do it, the more comfortable everyone will become. The more natural it'll be, a more natural part of your family gatherings, and those genuine moments will shine through. Now, I've been doing it for so long that people just expect that I have the camera now, and they're like, hey, Evan, make sure that you capture this, and this. Take a picture for us. And the more that you do it, the candid moments, those silly faces start to relax, and the more easy it is to capture. The awkwardness is not there. Silly faces, the messy meals, the spontaneous dance parties, those are moments that truly make up life. And they're often the ones we cherish the most, even if those dance parties happen to be in a time when everyone's in their pajamas. Now, I'm going to speak to you wives and you husbands for a moment. Wives, husbands, moms, dads, you're building a family, creating life together. Let yourselves be captured in those raw, authentic moments. Don't feel embarrassed or ashamed of what you might see as flaws or bad. My hair's in a mess. Don't do that. Don't be ashamed, because if you are a wife, if you are a mom, and your husband wants to pull the camera out to take a photo of you and your hair's a mess and you're unshowered, maybe still in pajamas or whatever that you wear or don't wear around the house, but you're feeding your kids, you're playing with them, and you're just being present with your kids, let your husbands capture that moment. You're beautiful to him. He sees you as the amazing woman that you are, and you are the heart of his and your family. Husbands, dads, let your wives cherish those moments and memories too. Those moments of you being a goofy dad, building pillow forts and reading stories at bedtime, those are priceless. Life is precious, and those we love won't be with us forever. That's the reality. Like my cousin, whose father passed away. Wouldn't you give anything to have a photo or video of them just as they were in those days, everyday moments, instead of looking at a posed photograph on the wall? Yeah, you can recall that, but just think about the emotion that it would be just to see how your wife or how your husband was interacting with your children and with your family. Years from now, you're going to look back on those 2 candid moments and smile. You'll remember the laughter, the joy, the love, and you'll be so grateful that you captured them, imperfections and all. So let go of the self-consciousness, embrace the chaos, the messiness, the realness of family life. Capture those moments, big and small. They are part of our life as we grow older. Again, some of you may be thinking, I'm not a photographer. I'm not a videographer. Well, that's what this channel is for. This channel is to help you learn those skills, to give you the tools and the confidence to capture those precious memories. So going forward, we're going to, the next series of videos that's going to happen after this one are going to be covering the basic camera settings, the composition techniques, the creative ideas for capturing those candid moments and turning them into lasting keepsakes. So that when someone walks into your house and you can proudly say, look at these things that we've done. You can share them if you want to on social media. You can have the pictures hanging on the wall. And they can say, oh, that's so precious. You can say, I did those pictures. That was a day we had fun in the park. And they would say, it looks like y'all had a photographer follow you around to take that. And you can say, no, I did that. Now, I will make a special note and special comment. I am a photographer and a videographer, and there are many other friends of mine that are photographers and videographers, and they have their place. They have their place to get those posed pictures for you that you want to have. I'm not going to take away from those professional photographers and videographers. They have a unique place, and I have a lot of respect for them and encourage them to be used and hired. I'm not going to hold back on how to get the camera set so that you can capture those posed photos. If you're ready to take your family photos and videos to the next level, I would appreciate any comments that you want to share with the community, because that's what we're going to build, is a community of those of us who are like-minded amateur family photographers and videographers who want to learn how to better their techniques. Not for those, if you want to be here to learn how to make a business of photography, I am glad that you're here. But that's not really what this channel is for. But I want you to be involved if you want to be here with learning how to photographer and videographer. But we're focusing on those of you that want to better your skills with your cameras so that you can capture your memories. I want you to snap that like button. I want you to subscribe to this channel. And I'm going to see you on the next video where we learn to actually learn photography. Remember, the best thing about memories is making them. So get out there and make memories, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, guys.